A pleasant day to everyone. This actually some notes on the action research that you have presented to me during the consultation period. I would like to start with the presentation of your action research. And based on the reviews and based on my readings of your action research, I found out that some of you indicated a model, but you're not able to have a comprehensive and a detailed presentation of the model. So I want you to present first the model. What is the model all about? You are going to make use of citation, cite everything that you have found, that you have read from different websites, from different books, or from different sources. So start presenting the model. You're going to say this action research is anchored on blah 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 model, and then tell something about the model. What is the model all about, and what are the different steps that you are going to follow using that model. If there's a diagram presented, then present that diagram. If there's a figure, present that figure. So I want you to have a comprehensive presentation, detailed presentation of the model with correct citation using the APA 6th edition, or the American Psychological Association 6th edition. After presenting the model in a detailed and comprehensive manner or perspective, you start writing your action research. You are going to label that one as the action research proper. The action research proper. And the first part of your action research proper should be based on step number 1 as found in the model, then step number 2, then step number 3, then so forth and so on up to the last step. If what is being used is stage, then you have stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, so forth and so on. Or number 1 stage, number 2 blah 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 stage, number 3 blah 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 stage. If each stage has subcomponents, then you're going to indicate also the different subcomponents. So for example, some of you used, or some of you are using Craig-Mertler model. So in Craig-Mertler's model, there are 4. So I want you to present all of the 4. And in each of the stages, there are what we call sub-stages. So for example, Craig-Mertler model, the first one is planning stage. Under planning stage, there are 4 components. So I want to see all of the 4 components as side sections or labels in your action research proper. So under planning stage, I want to see um, identifying and limiting the topic. The second substage is actually gathering information. The third stage is reviewing related literature. And then the last one is on developing research plans. I want to see all of those parts as the subcomponents of stage 1 or the planning stage. Then you go to the second stage. Stage 2 is what we call acting stage, and there are 2 components. In that stage, we have collecting data and then analyzing data. So in part 2, acting stage, I want to see also a label collecting data. After collecting data, then the analyzing of data, then so forth and so on. So the same to other models. Follow exactly what is step number 1, what is step number 2, what is step number 3, so forth and so on. So all of those in the model must be found in your action research proper. And then once you have collected the data, I want you to make use of Megastat, the one that I introduced, no? Whether you have qualitative data and you have quantitative data. So make use of that and be sure that you have informed consent of all the participants in your action research. And be sure you have a letter of permission. If, for example, you conduct the data collection, you need to have letter of permission, then the validation of your research instrument. All of those must be appended in your action research. So I noticed some of you are confused with the research proposal and the action research. The format of the research proposal is different from the action research. So in the action research, I want you to look at the video of Professor Gagani, and then Professor Gagani has presented different action research models. And I told you we're going to choose one, and then from that chosen model, make use of that. And in our dialect, I told you, pakamati na nga model. That's what you are going to use in your action research. Whatever stages mentioned in the model, then those are the things that I want to see in your research proposal. And I noticed also that some of you did not actually understand the model. And based on the consultation, I asked you, have you read the model thoroughly or comprehensively? Some did not answer me as yes or no. And some indicated not totally. But for sure, if you're not able to read the model, you're not able to read the model from the first up to the last part of the model on the website that you have actually used, then you would not have better understanding on how are you going to make use, how are you going to do your action research based on that model. So I want you to read, understand the model, because that is actually the basis of your action research. So after presenting all your action research proper, the references must be indicated. So references are actually the references that you mentioned that you have cited in the manuscript. So if you look at your action research manuscript and your references, what I see in the citation in the manuscript, I see that one in the reference. What I see in the reference is found also in the citation of your entire action research. Not in the case that you put something in the references but are not cited in the manuscript. That's not what I mean about references. References are the ones cited in the manuscript. So take note of that. After the references, you're going to have the appendices. So you're going to label that one as Appendix A, Appendix B, Appendix C, so forth and so on. So take note of the process. So if your Appendix A is the letter of permission, then make use of the letter of permission as the label of Appendix A. If Appendix B is informed consent, then that is actually Appendix B is informed consent, and that's actually what we call the content of that Appendix B, the informed consent. And all must be signed, no, with signature. And then so forth and so on. The last part is your resume. So all members must have a resume, comprehensive resume. You can make use of different models of writing your resume, but at least no, it must be comprehensive and your picture must be formal. I don't want to see a picture na nakawaki. No, that's not acceptable. It must be a formal picture in your resume. And all must have pagination. Page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. But the beginning page, the title page, has no label as page 1. No? So for example, if the title page, then leave that one as a page without the page in the bottom. No? The paging should be in the lower right-hand corner. Lower right-hand corner. The paging would start on the second page. The second page is is the action research model that you have chosen. That is actually page 2. So you start with page 2. The first page is understood. The first bond paper, that's the title page, that is understood to be page 1. Then the second, that's the time that you are going to start encoding 2, then 3, then 4, so forth and so on up to the last page. Again, the page must be written in the lower right-hand corner. So how are you going to write the title page? So in the title page, you're going to have, on the top, you're going to have there the action research title. Although I have not commented upon, that's still tentative because the final writing of the title will be done after the oral defense. So title page. Then somewhere at the middle, estimate, no, somewhere at the middle, you're going to have their by. No? By, then your complete name, first name, middle initial, last name, comma, then the course that you are taking. The next person, you have the First name, middle initial, last name, then comma, and then the course that you are taking, so forth and so on, up to the last member. So the bond paper is actually 8 and 1/2 by 11. The margin is 1 inch at the top, 1 inch at the bottom, 1 inch at the right, and 1.3 inches in the left side. 1.3 inches in the left side. So short bond paper. So with that short bond paper, you're going to estimate at the very top the title of the page, the title of your action research, sorry, the title of your action research. Take note, not all capital letters, no, not all capital letters. Under an estimate, towards the middle, you're going to have, right, you're going to include by, colon, then below that one, you're going to have the writing of the names. And then all must be single space, no, all must be single space. And all of the pages in your action research must be single space, no, single space. All must be single space. All must be single space. So after that, you're going to have the second page is actually the action, the table of contents. Have the table of contents. No? So follow the writing of table of contents. Take note when you write the table of contents, if you're going to say Craig Mertler model, then it is found in page 3 up to 5, then write only page 3, no? The exact page where that part is found. The remaining parts would not be included. Do not have 3, then dash, then 5. No, only the beginning page where that part is actually found. So then after the table of contents, start writing the action research model, no, the action research model being used, the action research model being used, that must be at the center, no? The action research model being used, the action research model being used. And when you write, you're gonna this action research is anchored on, or you can have this action research is based on the blah, blah, blah model, and then present the model comprehensively in a detailed manner so that when I read, I can understand what is the model all about, and then apply proper citation, no? Apply proper citation. Because if you don't have citation, then that means plagiarism. I notice in your consultation, the papers that I have corrected, only the first paragraph, the next paragraph the next paragraphs have no citation. No, that's not the case. Then you are going to say, moreover, blah blah blah. On the other hand, in addition to, and still you are going to cite, no, who is the author, and that is the reference that you are actually using in all paragraphs that you have in the model. And of course, grammar must be considered. Apply what you have learned in your English courses. When you present the figure, there must be beauty. No beauty means deduction of points. I want to see a beauty in all of your presentations from the very beginning until the end, up to the resume. So take note of that. I going to grade according to what you have written. I am not grading efforts for now. I am grading based on the output. Take note of that. And then after presenting the model, you're going to say the action research proper. The action research proper. When you're going to have the action research proper, then you start writing the different parts. What are the different parts? Those that are found in the model that you're actually using. Do not insert other parts. What I'm going to see in the different parts of your action research is the part actually presented in the model that you are actually using in your action research. And then since today is holiday, December 30, 2022, and then last Monday, also December 26, is a holiday. So I am extending the consultation on January 3 up to January 6. On January 3 up to January 6. You can see me in the office and that is based on my availability. But still the 5:30 to 8:30 Tuesday and Thursday is still available. And then Wednesday afternoon also, or nighttime, I'm also available for consultation. Okay, so take note of that. But that is only an extension of the consultation which I told you on the Christmas vacation. So take note of that, and everything must be followed. So for now, I'm going to say advance Happy New Year. Take care, everyone, and see you on January 3. So good luck for your action research paper.